Tanner, let's go right to your first interception of the year. You've been hovering around it a few games, and it happened. What allowed for you to pick that ball off and the play call there?
I think it's just a classic example of being in the right spot at the right time. We talk about that a lot. When you do your job and are always in and around the ball, plays will come to you, and that was kind of one of those freakish type plays where Evan Johnson jumps a little early, ball's tipped up in the air. I was thinking I was going to have to hit him, and next thing you know, spits right to me. So, we train our minds and our habits on this defense to always run to the ball for instances like that, and you see what happens when you do what you're told to do.
The flow of this game felt, in a word, strange. A lot of turnovers. So how do you keep the right mindset when a game kind of gets weird like tonight's did?
I think at the end of the day, just remember our goals, what we're focused on. We had specific goals coming into this game as a defense that we knew when we went out there we needed to execute. But I think, thinking bigger picture, coming out 5-0, we learned a lot of lessons in this game, I would say, and to learn those lessons in a win is great. I would rather do that than in a loss and lose because of some turnovers and because of some timely mistakes. But no, still grateful for the way we came out and played, and thought, we executed a lot of things very well and still have some good things to clean up.
It's difficult for any defense to have a quick change and all of a sudden you have an opposing offense on the 3-yard line or even closer to the goal line. So, those are more forgivable, understandably, but I know you're a perfectionist. So thinking defensively specifically, what do you feel like the unit could have done better as a team tonight?
Yeah, no, I know for a fact when we show up on Monday, we're going to be focusing on responding better to sudden change. We haven't really been in that situation at all this season, but, even then we got to come out and, when you're in those tough spots, try to hold them to a field goal. Do something to, hold the line and force them into a field goal or make them go for it on 4th down and get a stop. And so we're going to definitely be focusing on that. And when we have more opportunities to do that in the future, I look forward to us responding better to that sudden change.
Now you're dealing with a situation, too, where you watched a couple of your key teammates go out with some injuries tonight. So how do you maintain the right mindset when you watch those guys who are leaders on your team not be able to play?
Yeah, no, my heart goes out to them. I've had injuries. The game of football, there's a lot of injuries, so you never want to see your brothers get hurt and be out like that. But I think deserves a shout out to mention Ace Kafusi and Max Alford and some of those linebackers who haven't played as much this year, who I thought came in and did a pretty solid job tonight, responding in that situation where both Glasgow and Jack were out. We get an extra day of recovery this week, so hopefully that puts us in a good spot where Jack and Isaiah can, rehab and be back and be ready to go next week, and we'll be praying and hopeful for that. But it's the injuries that happen in football. It's tough, but we'll be praying for our brothers, and those are 2 tough guys, and they're going to find any way to be back on the field next week. I guarantee that.
How will you take tonight's game and make this BYU team better for Arizona?
The biggest thing is learning from our mistakes, right? And tonight we knew exactly what kind of offense we were going to face. They were exactly who we thought they were. A lot of QB running, a lot of outside run with counter coming back the other way. And so coming into next week, with Noah Fafita, we're going to expect to see probably a lot more drop back pass. And we've definitely got some things to clean up and some things to prepare for. But the mistakes that we made tonight, we definitely need to learn from. And I know that the word ball security is going to be said at least 1,000 times next week.
If not more. Yeah.
The coaches might be doing ball security drills. We're all going to be doing it.
That's fair. We should point out you've been receiving some additional spotlight, an ESPN spotlight at that, and you're on multiple award watch lists. What's that process been like for you?
I'm just so humbled and grateful to be recognized at that level. I'm grateful to play for a coach like Kalani, who has a culture that encourages us to do so much good, and grateful to be at BYU, a school where we have a platform to do so much good. So it's kind of a spiritual, I get a warm feeling about it because I know I have been given this platform in order to do good. So I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that I have to serve in the community here, around the world with BYU Pathway stuff. But just super grateful to my Heavenly Father for those opportunities.
Tanner, we appreciate the time. Enjoy conference weekend and an extra day of rest, and we look forward to the game at Arizona.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Spencer.